Hey everyone, RJ here. Welcome back to the channel, and today I'll be doing an unboxing and taking a first look at the Ulefone Note 11P. Okay, so I was browsing around Amazon the other day and I happened to just stumble across this phone, and it was actually on sale, I do believe, and the price of this phone is $169.99. Now, this thing offers a lot for $169.99, alright? I mean, the gap is closing, y'all, as far as what's available on these phones, the specs that these phones are packing, and all that kind of stuff. So before I even do the unboxing, I'm going to give you the specs of this device. So just stare at the phone box while I read off these specs. It won't take me too awful long. Okay, now this here is a GSM only device for T-Mobile and, well, maybe AT&T. We know how they are with unlocked phones nowadays, you know. So anyway, it is GSM. It's got 4G LTE. The 4G LTE bands are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 12, 17, 19, 20, and 28. No 66, nothing like that here on this phone. Now, this phone was released March of 2021, so it's only been out for a couple of months. And now this phone does have a glass front with a plastic back and a plastic frame. It does have a dual SIM, which is a nano SIM. Dual standby. It's got a 6.55-inch IPS LCD display coming in at 720 by 1600. I was hoping for full HD. I thought it was full HD. The description, I think, did say full HD, but according to this site here, it says 720p, so we got to check that out here later on. Now, it does have a 20:9 aspect ratio. It runs Android version 11 out of the box. Now, for the processor, it's got a MediaTek Helio P60 processor, which is the MT6771, and the P60 is still a very relevant processor. It's a tried and true processor. It's always been good. Ever since I've used the P60, I've had no issues with it whatsoever. It is an octa-core processor with a Mali G72 GPU. This phone's got 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes of storage with SD card expansion. Now, this phone does have a quad camera setup with a 48 megapixel wide lens with aperture of f1.8, an 8 megapixel ultra wide lens with aperture of f2.2, and a 2 megapixel and 2 megapixel macro and depth sensor. You can record at 1080p at 30 frames per second, which will verify that here in just a moment. Now, the front camera is an 8 megapixel camera at aperture of f1.8. You can record at 1080 at 30 frames per second. And reading over some other stuff here, it's got a rear-mounted fingerprint scanner. It's got USB Type-C 2.0, USB on the go, Bluetooth 5.0, has dual band AC Wi-Fi, 3.5mm headphone jack, loudspeaker, yeah. It's got a 4,500 milliamp hour battery with 10 watt, somewhat fast charging, and it comes in the colors of black, green, and red, so you can about imagine what color I went with here on this phone. So with all the specs being out of the way, do apologize, you know, it took so long for that, but hey, I want to get that out of the way. So let's go ahead here and we will just take the top here off. Okay, there we go. So we got the phone here right on top. 6.55-inch display, and the phone feels pretty stout. Your SIM removal tool right there. Let's go ahead and open this up and see what and all does come in the box. And okay, it opens that way. Alright, so it says instructions of phone charging, blah blah blah. Who really cares? Now in here we do seem to get a case, so it's nice to always get a little gel skin case, no matter how cheap it is or whatever. It's always nice to get one in the box. Am I right? Okay. And of course, this little piece of foam right here that really don't matter. And here it shows a warranty and what to do if your Ulefone can't connect to network data. Okay, so yeah, all that stuff there. Now, of course, you do get your US wall brick there. It's 10 watt fast charging, nothing special. And USB Type-C charging cable. So yeah, let's go ahead and throw all this back in the box and we'll look at the phone. So phone is now in hand, and yes, verifying there, it is a 720p display. So unless I read it wrong, the website got it wrong. Okay, but still, anyway, it's $170, and for what you're getting, spec wise, and it's just don't seem that bad to me. So let's go ahead here and we'll peel off this little front screen protector. I think it has one also pre-installed, and yes, it does. There's one also pre-installed. There's a little bubble in that there. Up front here, you do got the little hole punch camera right there. Got your speaker grill up there. On top, we do got the 3.5mm headphone jack. On the left is your SIM and SD ejector right there. On the bottom, you have your bottom firing speaker, USB Type-C charging port, and your microphone. And on the right is your power and your volume rocker. And on the back, it don't look bad. You got your quad camera set up with flash, fingerprint scanner, your Ulefone branding, and it kind of radiates from a really nice red down to like a purplish look, I guess you would say. But look at that design. That design looks good. I mean, it feels plasticky. It don't feel, like the glass sticker or all that mess. It's just a nice plastic back here. That don't feel like it is slick. Yeah, it's slick. Okay, yes, it is slick. Okay, so, but you can see how it looks. It looks really nice. Let's go ahead here and we'll boot it up. I'll probably rip off that screen protector, but right now, I guess I'll leave it on for the time being. But you'll see there, Ulefone powered by Android, and Android 11 right out of the box, which is surprising. So, yeah, let's go ahead. I'll get it all set up, and I'll come back when it's finished. Okay, so we're all set up now and ready to go. Now, setup was pretty painless. It's just your typical setup and all that kind of good stuff there. So let's go ahead and turn the phone around here. Now, the back fingerprint scanner, I got that set up. We'll go ahead and check that out now. And you'll see that the fingerprint scanner does work. I mean, it ain't the fastest in the world, but it is very responsive. Every time that I press it, it cuts on just fine with no issues. I think this phone also has face unlock, but it's not currently set up at the moment, which I may do that here, towards the, maybe somewhere in the video. All right. So anyway, here's your display. Now it is, 720p. And looking at it, it looks nice. I mean, it's not the brightest or the most vibrant, of course. If you pull the drop down here, you'll see that in this room, it's not very bright. I mean, we've got the LED on and everything, but the screen is like 3/4 the way up, and it's just not that bright. So outside viewing may not be the best, but it's, 169. So then there you go. Now, you got just basic stuff here. This is just your basic, kind of a basic stock Android experience. All right, you swipe up here, and of course you got a few things here. One thing down here is called student mode. Have no idea what that is. You got your toolbox here. That's what toolbox is. So, okay, you got your flashlight. You got a bubble level, a pick hanger, measure height, magnifier, alarm, compass, protractor, and plumb bob. Okay, so got all that going on in there. So yeah, let's go ahead here and pull the drop down, and we got all of your typical stuff here. Looks a little bit different than what I'm used to, but hey, it's still all right. It's got your screen recorder going on there, your Wi-Fi mobile data, your flashlight. Let's check that out, and it's dual flashlight, and yeah, I just kind of blinded myself there. It is pretty bright. Actually, it's very bright. But your hotspot, you can also edit that, screencasting, and all that nice stuff. Let's go into the settings here for a moment and just see what we have. And honestly, not much. I mean, it's just your basic stock Android experience that you're seeing here. It may have a a light skin on it, but nothing that I'm really seeing too much going on here. So here at connected devices, you do got your connection preferences, which there is no NFC, of course, but Bluetooth, cast, printing, Chromebook, nearby share, and Android Auto, all that stuff going on in there. Got your apps notifications, got your smart assistant for your system navigation. So you do have your gestures, which is turned on by default. But if you don't like gestures, you do have the 3-button navigation down here at the bottom. So you do have an option there as well. You got LED lights. Now, I'm not really sure what the LED lights actually does, unless I did see a little flicker up here, a little red light. That could be what that is. If I find it somewhere else in the phone later on, I'll let y'all know. So emergency rescue. Okay, so Emergency rescue. When you're in an emergency, emergency rescue helps you by sending emergency contacts a message along with your location. To use emergency rescue during an emergency, please press and hold the volume up and down keys for 3 seconds. Function should work no matter the screen is off or on. So just be sure that you don't press the volume up and down keys for more than 3 seconds, because you might send out an emergency rescue. All right, so but you might have to cut it on and off and stuff like that. So yeah, okay, just check that. Okay, so down here at battery. Now, what did I say the battery was? What did this paper say it was? Done forgot now. 4,400 milliamp battery. So you should not have any issues with the battery. Of course, I'll do my normal testing, my straight YouTube watching to see what how long it gets on battery life, and just your average, typical usage. Battery percentage. Last full charge was 79 days ago. Okay, only had it for a few days, but anyway, backing out of there, we have the display. So you got your dark theme, thank goodness. That's on the phone, of course. Android 11 is going to be on there. Adaptive brightness, advanced here, and typical stuff, okay? Just like if you're looking at a Pixel, this is what it looks like, all right? So down here is sound. Now this does only have a bottom firing speaker, but it's not too bad. So I want to play a little bit of a ringtone here. It may be a little bit loud, so headphone warning, okay? So we'll go ahead and play Joyous. And to be honest, it doesn't sound like a very teeny tiny cheap speaker. Now, of course, when I watch videos on it and listen to music on it, that might tell a different story. But right now, it don't sound too bad. And of course, you can go in here and change your default sound, default alarm sound. And you're definitely gonna want to turn this off, the screen locking sound. Listen to this. That's annoying, okay? That is just find a fingerprint scanner, kind of flat back there. Did you hear that? Oh, man. That's an annoying sound. And also here in the sounds, you have what you call a sound enhancement, which is on by default. So, okay, let's go here to storage. So, this is what it should be whenever you get a phone, all right? If it's got 128 gigabytes of storage, you shouldn't only have 100 gigs free out of the box. This has 100 and it's blurry. Why is it blurry? Okay, come on, Samsung. My Pixel does better than this. Only 10 gigabytes has been used out of 128 gigs, so it's nice to see that only 7.7 gigabytes of system has been used. So pretty much stock here, like I said. Now your privacy here is your permission manager, blah, blah, that kind of stuff going on there. Your location, your security. So you do have a screen lock, fingerprint, and face unlock. I'm going to set that up right quick and we'll check that out. Okay, so we got the face unlock. There it says face added. We'll go and check that out right now. I'll just look away here and look right into the camera. And that's pretty quick. I mean, look at that. Dang, alright. That's not bad. That's actually faster than the fingerprint, in my opinion. But anyhow, got your accessibility down here for all of your color correction, magnification, just everything that you need here in accessibility. Digital well-being, got Speed, which you see on a lot of these phones. Speed, yep. System. You have gestures. So you have your quickly open camera, prevent ringing, and power menu. Let's go back here down to About Phone. And you'll see here that it is running Android version 11. It is an old, outdated security update, December 5th, 2020. And the Play Store is September of 2020. So once I hook it up to Wi-Fi and all that kind of good stuff, I expect it to actually get some updates and stuff of that nature. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is there in the settings. I know it took a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but hey, might as well go through everything in an unboxing. Am I right? Oh yeah, I'm right. So anyway, now go in here into the camera and you'll see your camera interface, and I think that it brightens up the screen when you go into the camera. I hate when when phones do that with the cameras. I just don't like it like that. But anyway, over here is your ultra wide angle mode. So nice stuff going on there. Over here it says micro lens mode. Okay. Let's cut that off there and get your 1x and your 2 times. Now looking at it here, now you can't see it on camera, but through my eyes, I can see all the little lines here in this shirt. I mean, it's actually, that's not bad. Let's go into macro mode here, and that's getting pretty close. Okay, I can see little grooves and stuff in there. That's not bad. Okay, so you got your portrait mode here, always nice. Got your video mode right here. And while we are here, let's see, this button here does go into ultra wide mode even in video mode, so that's good. Into the settings here, you can record in full HD, HD, and VGA. This one down here, really don't matter what that is. Microphone on or off, and scene mode, which we know, all the scenes, party, sunset, portrait, blah, blah, blah. Okay, why did the camera exit out? Anyway, okay, got your picture. Let's go into the settings there. In the picture, you got anti-shake, picture path. So if you got an SD card in the phone, you can set it to external storage, and all your pictures and videos will go to your SD card to save on your internal storage, okay? Watermark, so it says device watermark. You're going to have it off, a timestamp watermark, device watermark, and device and timestamp watermark. So cool. ZSD, which is zero shutter delay, shutter on or off, and yeah, that's about it. Alright, got your beauty mode and your 48 megapixel camera right there. Let's see if it can do 2 times in 48, and it can. So yeah, that's not looking too bad. So let's go ahead back into picture mode here and flip the camera around. But first glance, you know, I am seeing some flicker going on there, but that's to be expected. Okay, so over here in the video, let's just see what it can record in. And max is HD 720. Okay, so 720 is max. But I mean, like I said earlier, the gap is closing in certain ways. Okay, you got the MediaTek Helio P60 processor going on in here. You have 8 gigabytes of RAM. You have 128 gigabytes of internal storage. You got a quad camera setup. It is a plastic build, but who cares? A little hole punch camera up there. It's not intrusive at all. This screen protector is going to go as soon as I get done with this video because it's getting on my nerves. You know, it works for T-Mobile for sure. AT&T, we know how crazy they're being lately, so who knows about them, if it'll work on theirs or not. But the phone overall, you know, is not bad. Now, just one final thing for in the video is, you know, a lot of times we just go through all the parts of the phone, but we don't actually show the basic functions of a phone, just like the dialer. Okay, so I get questions like this a lot, like, you know, how to use the dialer, how do you make a phone call and stuff like that, which, okay, I understand. All right, so you push this little button down here with the phone on it, like that. All right, got your favorites, your recents, and your contacts. Now this little button right here is your dialer. Okay, the little green button down here is where you call at. When you're done with the call, you push it again and it's red, so you end the call. Simple, easy, nice big keyboard, all that kind of good stuff there. And yeah, now your messaging here, I believe, yeah, this is the Google messaging right out of the box. So nice stuff going on there. Start a new chat. You just put in a name and you're ready to start typing. All right, simple, very easy. And yeah, and I went into Toolbox for some reason or another. But yes, I mean, so far, I mean, you know, it is what it is. I mean, I got to test it out. I got to put a SIM card in there. And I got to see how the connection is, how the service, reception, the call quality, all that good stuff. Take some pictures with it. And so, yeah, this is the Ulefone Note 11P. What is the deal with all these manufacturers naming their phones Note? I mean, I don't understand it. But, hey, you know, it's the Note 11P. And it's $169 right now on Amazon. You can get it in the red. You can get it in the green, I think it was, and in black. So, honestly, the specs are there. You know, it's plastic, got Type C. You know, if you drop it, it ain't going to shatter. I mean, the screen might, but the back and sides ain't. Um, and it's just your typical budget phone that's catching up with some good mid-rangers out there as far as specs go. So, I'm sorry it was so long, but I wanted to give a full, thorough unboxing here of this phone and first impressions. So, if it was helpful and informative in any way, hit that like button. Any questions that you may have, leave it down below. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing and click that bell for all notifications for future videos. I sure would appreciate it. Y'all have a good one, and thanks for watching.